So when I first started doing this, like, there were trans issues going on, but there wasn't as much uproar about things as like there has been in the last few like years. And so for me, I always felt like I didn't really know where I belong in the LGBT community, and I felt like the T was kind of silent, or like we just kind of got tacked on to the end because like we didn't know where else to go, because like being trans really has nothing to do with your sexuality. Like your gender and sexuality are two different things, and like even though I identify like as a queer person and still feel like I belong in the LGBT community, like I just didn't feel like there was enough out there for me. And so I don't know, I was really frustrated in my life, and I was trying to figure out like what I was going to make next. And so I took my two favorite things, which are ice hockey and like the story of like Frankenstein's monster, and I just like put them together, and I was like, wow, you know what, I really like this. And I was like, this is something like sustainable that I'm going to keep wanting to do. And so yeah, so I just like I hide T's in everything. So like it's like I hide T's in the teeth. I hide T's like the T bolts, and I have them tattooed just the same. And
Go on, maybe just tattoo.
sorry?
Do you want to show me your tattoo again?
Yeah,
I missed
sure.
it.
I have them on both sides. Got
Oh yeah.
T's with lightning.
Oh wow.
And so yeah, I'm just like really into patterning and 3D pop art, and I grew up really interested in Roy Lichtenstein, and a lot of like just his work was just so bold, and like just the use of color and like contrast, and I was just so into it. Like Crystal Bowl with Fruit is my favorite painting of all time. Like I can't even tell you. It's my favorite painting, and I got to see it when I was a freshman in high school, and I was never the same. And that's why I paint the way that I do. But yeah, so like I just like to hide like T's in here, like in drains and in leaves and stuff. And also like I've been doing like apple cores, and I tried, and those are becoming T's as well. And so I'm coming up. I'm gonna do a few more pieces like with the apple cores. I've got one going on in this painting as well.
What is the apple core?
You know what?
What's
It's
that
kind of a
mean?
funny story. I've basically a few times in my life, like one time when I was in high school, and then when I was in college, I was in relationships with teachers. So like once when I was in high school and I got kicked out of school, which was really awful. But like, I don't know, like my teenage years were just really bad. And so like it just made sense. And then I married my former college professor.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Was that your first marriage?
No, that was my second
Oh,
marriage.
your second marriage.
Yeah, the T is for twice married.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, like I just think that there's like something, I don't know, about that. It's like maybe, just, I don't know, I've just always been attracted. Like I have a great relationship like with my mom now, but I think that I've just probably, growing up, I think I was just looking for any other like older figure
I get you.
to kind of fill that,
Yeah.
And so like I don't know, like, and I feel like other people can relate with that too. So like the apples are like kind of this like dark humor about just like what I've been through, because it's so odd, it's like no one marries their professor, and like you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it was just because you really liked apples, like what?
Yeah, well, it's like the play on, it's like kind of playful. It's like, give your teacher an apple.
Oh
kind of
right,
thing.
I get you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's sick. So why is it only really making an appearance now?
Well, I've been using them in my work now, like pretty much ever since things kind of started crumbling.
Oh,
I just started.
yeah.
It's kind of just my way of like acknowledging that the hurt happened, but like.
Yeah, without actually explicitly.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It's just kind of like, because for so long I lived as like a secret, and like, it's like people have either been like ashamed to be with me, or like they wouldn't tell their parents they were with me or something. And like for me, it's like the apples in my head are like saying that like this happened, like
Yeah,
I
I get
can't like, I wasn't able to like post pictures of the relationships or like do whatever, but like, you still have to tell yourself like, no, like I felt these things, like this happened, this was real,
You validate it.
yeah, and like I just like, I don't want to not think about it because like it was so significant to me. But I think relationships are a big part of like being a trans person, like being a queer person. I think like the things that happen to you in relationships are sometimes like either the most validating or like the most hurtful things that can happen to you, like in your coming out or in your transition. Like I think I just think relationships can be really messy, and like it's like why I made this painting. I did this one down here. It's like just about like Tinder dating, you know, and like basically just like talking about what you know, put out there. Because for me, it's like, you know, what I was getting on these social media, like dating website things is like, I was going on there and I was writing all these things on my profile and no one was reading my profile. And so I was getting matches.
Yeah.
And then what would happen is I would log on and I would look for the matches and I wouldn't have any. So it's like they would go on, they'd match with me just like from the picture, and then they'd come back, read the profile, and then unmatch with me. So I would never have matches. And so like...
Do you think it would just scare people? Because like people just don't...
I mean, yeah, like I think people are always afraid of what they don't understand, but I think if you're not willing to like...
Open your mind.
See where things go, like I don't know, like... I don't want to think that it's like so important, like that people's genitals are so important, but like a lot, like society puts so much emphasis on that, like, you know, and it should just be about like, you know, just loving whoever you love because you like them as a person. I think, you know, sex is relative, like you can always make somebody feel good or not have sex at all or whatever, like it doesn't matter. But the way we think about it, it makes it just too complicated.